Whether you want to rise in business or in life, it's important to pause a bit and try to recognize the pillars on which people rise and fall. What I've learned is that you rise and fall on leadership, you rise and fall on relationships, and you rise and fall on habits. So, the important questions you want to be asking yourself: how are you using these pillars to position yourself for success, whether in business or in life? Today, we're going to be examining a number of important issues that can really push you forward in business and in life. And perhaps we'll also be looking at a content of information that will help you to understand what is really holding you back. So, to join me in that conversation today, I have two dynamic personalities that will support in the conversation. First, I have Peter Scott. So, I want to encourage you to join me and to welcome him. He focuses on Legacy Chronicle and the Human Growth Initiative. I also have Clement Frank, and Clement Frank, he is an economist by profession. He is a practicing leader, and he is now about to release his first book on leadership and business. Guys, it's great to have you here today. How are you guys?
Fantastic and fabulous.
You're mute, Frank. Yes.
Oh
Peter
Lord.
says, Peter
I
says
thought I
fantastic
thought
and fabulous.
yes. I tell you, look, when I saw him this morning, I'm like, wow, the guy had good rest. All the man face looking big. All
Uh,
right. I know definitely couldn't have been KFC. It's okay.
the man find the secret formula. Huh?
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta ask him to disclose.
Mm-mm. What
I'll
was it?
tell you.
Was it Peter? Was it the coffee? Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee?
Well, it's late night. It's going. I think it's for this morning. I maybe I went to bed a little earlier. So I guess that's what it is.
Well, you can't beat going to sleep early, you know.
I know.
You can't
I
beat
know.
that, That's where you get the serotonin
Mm.
that translates into the daytime. No, that's where you get the melatonin that translates
Yes.
into daytime serotonin. So I guess what we're seeing there is the results of the melatonin
Wow.
showing up in the serotonin. All right, Peter. Got it. All right, folks. Today we're going to be having a pretty interesting conversation. We're going to be looking at habits to win in business and in life. And I want to begin today's conversation by looking at some facts and sharing some experience that we have seen. Now, one of the things that we have seen, many persons do not celebrate the small wins, and in the process of so, they tend not to show gratitude where gratitude should be shown. And what I'm saying is that putting yourself in that position of strength to show gratitude, to feel gratitude, to experience gratitude is an essential leadership habit. But let me try to examine success a little bit more so as to show why people perhaps don't celebrate the small win. One of the studies that we have done, and we have done this study, is to see how people are referring to the term success. And what we have seen is that if you talk with 10 persons, you will get 10 different definitions of what success is. And what we have seen is that largely because of this, there are people that have some degree of success in their lives, but it is not recognized. Because people are only trained and conditioned to celebrate the big wins. So, what we have done to try to put this into some context, we have developed what we call a process of helping persons to identify success. So, we see success in three different lights. One, we talk about small and average success. We believe that that needs to be celebrated. So why do you decide that, hey, you're going to call a family or a friend, and you're going to invite them over to have some conversation, and over a drink or some barbecue? That in of itself is success. And should we celebrate it? I mean, to have a friend, to call a friend over to sit and have some conversation with the right frame of mind, that can lead to something significant. Having friend taking time out to build and strengthen that relationship with friendship is an essential habit, because relationship, as I would have said, is something that you rise and fall on. So that's a habit that you need. It may be a small win, but we need to celebrate it, because from those small wins, it can become something big. So that is what we may classify as an example of what a small win is. We also talk about mid-level wins. And what is mid-level win? Mid-level win might be you made a commitment to take up perhaps project management as a new subject matter that you want to master, and you decide that you're going to commit 6 months, a year, or more to learn, apply, and master everything that there is to learn about project management. That in of itself is a commitment to learn. That is of itself is a commitment to want to grow. And to make that commitment and stick to that commitment and actually experience growth in of itself is a win, is success. Do we celebrate this? Sometimes we see that, persons have these type of accomplishment, but do not spend enough time really acknowledging it and really celebrating it. And, you know, uh, they're not showing gratitude. Gratitude is important. All right. The last category of success that we have looked at is what we call large and major accomplishment. And what we have seen is that most people, they only want to, celebrate the large and major accomplishment. And very often, the majority of people don't get here. And what is large and major accomplishment? Perhaps you may make a decision to use your project management knowledge or sales communication skills, and you start a business. You start to scale that business, and you make a plan to take it IPO, initial public offer. To do that in of itself is no easy task. That is a large and major accomplishment, because to take your brand, your business to IPO, it means that you're now trading on the international stock market. That allows you to raise millions of dollars in the equity capital to grow and scale your business. It allows you to also bring in key stakeholders that you can put on your board, and you can possibly pull back, because at this stage you have a big brand. That is a major accomplishment, but it's not easy to get here. And many persons tend to feel like a failure if you don't have these type of big accomplishments in your life. But the small things needs to be celebrated, because there's something that we talk about is how to express self from a place of gratitude. You want to put yourself in this frame of mind, and just a little bit about gratitude. One may have the notion that to express gratitude is to only look at the past and see all the good things in the past that you're happy about, and you're correct. But gratitude can also represent celebrating the present. You're present here right now. You have life. Do you celebrate it? You have hope for the future. Do you celebrate it? So you can also celebrate the present, and that's showing gratitude. Some people, they're alive, but they're sad. They're seeing all that they want. They're not seeing all that they have. And seeing all that you have is so important to be used as a springboard to accomplish greater things. So when we talk of gratitude, we're talking about embracing the past embracing the present, and embracing the future. Because you can have gratitude that you have the ability to use your present to shape your future. All right. And the future is not something that you are waiting on. You're not waiting for someone to create opportunities for you. You are literally shaping your reality. And those are essential habits that you need. And those are things that you need to be grateful for. But it's the right frame of mind that we believe that people need to have. And of course, in some of the new programs that we're rolling out at the Science of Success University, we are going to be expanding all of this. In conclusion, let me say a couple of things. Everyone, you want to put yourself in a place where you can express self from a place of gratitude. And then you need to learn how to leverage gratitude as a springboard to happiness. When you have gratitude, you can leverage that as a springboard to happiness. You also need to learn how to leverage happiness as a gateway to success. Guess what? When you're happy and people know that you're happy, they want to come around you because they know that you got positive energy. They want to connect with you, they want to work with you. And the last thing that I want to say here is how to master emotional intelligence and your executive motor skills. You know, you want to know that you're in control of you. Yes, life may bring all manner of things at you, and you may say, Tom made me vex, Peter made me angry. When you say those kind of stuff, I want you to pause and think about it. It means that you're giving power to Peter, you're giving power to Tom to control your emotions. And that's not something that you want to do. You need to take ownership of you. So regardless of what comes at you, you have super control over you, how you're thinking, and the actions that you're able to take to navigate the realities of life. All right. So because you have life, you have all of this in front of you, but it's how you position yourself to use these things effectively. I would say in life, when you're taking action, you want to be emotionally intelligent. But guess what? The majority of people, you are all emotion and no intelligence in the action that you're taking in life. So you want to marry those two, emotion and intelligence. And that's how you want to really train your executive motor skills to work. So I'm going to pause here now and turn to Frank. Frank, I would love to have your thoughts on, habits to win in business and life. All to you, my friend.
Thanks. And the thing about it is, yeah, you might be surprised at the little things that make a big difference when it comes to getting ahead in business and life.
Mm-hmm,
While
mm-hmm,
connections, intellect, and drive can all help a person succeed, consistency is key as well. And just how you have the high achieving athletes who use discipline to win, the business people who do the right things day after day are primed for excellence. I have a whole lot of daily habits that successful leaders rely on to accomplish great things in business and in life. And the first one, and people will laugh at this, is ask people what you can do for them. Ask people what you can do for them. To receive great support and help, you must be an even greater supporter and helper. Starting a business is extremely challenging and it requires daily help, daily guidance of investors, partners, even your peers. And too often, entrepreneurs fall into the trap of constantly asking things of others while offering little in return. It is bad form and an easy way to burn bridges. But if you can be a thought leader and a resource for your peers, And if you go out of your way to help them, they will ultimately go out of their way to help you. And there are a few greater compliments in having someone say, I would do anything for that person. This habit will make that person you. And that was Todd O'Hara. He's a founder of Brunch. Eat the Frog is the second daily habit. Lee Mayer, co-founder and CEO of an interior decorating platform called Havenly. He said, as a CEO, I'm the team leader tasked with answering questions, putting out fires, and providing solutions. My to-do list is often put aside for the needs of my team. In order to ensure that he accomplished the priorities for the day, he would do the most important thing first before you leave the office. And that is what a lot of people call eating the frog. It is hard, but you have to do your best to do that every morning. Try to accomplish those priorities. Do the most important things first. Some of the most important things first is just saying it to your children, I love you. I bless you today. Giving your wife a kiss. Because the kind of life we live in these times, you don't know what tomorrow brings. I was looking at some videos yesterday, heartrending. 5 persons lost their lives on the highway. And so when we talk about eating the frog, you wonder, did they do the most important thing today? And the most important thing is not necessarily being a hero or saving a life, is did you tell someone you love them? Did you say to someone, how can I help you? Those are things that are important. Talk to someone new about your product every day is a third habit. So you don't just sit in your ivory tower. Go out and learn what people are thinking about your product. Talk to people at grocery store, games, kid games. Of course, you can annoy them, but talk about it. And that's a thought from Andrea Cotwright. She's the CEO of Ask FM. Make staying in shape non-negotiable. Gary, staying in
Yes.
shape habit and
I
takes
like that one.
priority on a daily basis. Don't allow the
Mm-hmm.
state of the business to get in the way of exercising. In fact, schedule time to exercise at the beginning of the week and every day to ensure that you know when you're going to be working out. For example, if you travel, you pack gym clothes first. Think about the week ahead and plan the schedule of workouts. I turned 60 in a few months, and
Congratulations, bro.
exercising I could have I, has given me that lifetime habit. No, and there got some days I cheat, but the thing is that you try to be as consistent as possible. It's just like putting money away for retirement when you're young and making a habit. You pay yourself first when it comes to exercise. And that's one quote from Randy Nelson, a serial entrepreneur. And then learn to delegate. Delegating well is an art form, deceptively difficult, always improve, and usually learn the hard way. Pay too much attention and you micromanage. Pay too little attention and it seems like you don't care. So you start by delegating work, where the key is to clearly verbalize what your expectations are, recognize the difference between something that's worse and something that's different from you, how you would have done it, and make sure to avoid hero mode where you shoulder the largest burden. You can die under the burden. David Ransom, founder and CEO of the global website. Over to you, Gary.
Great share, great share. Stay in shape daily. I do believe that's definitely an important milestone to want to accomplish. And there's so much of benefits from exercising. It adds to, happiness, health, and wealth, and most importantly, longevity. Peter, all to you.
Yes, and it's always such a pleasure to be here, discussing creative ideas and refreshing thoughts. You know, that's a wonderful habit to have. And as we talk about habits that contributes to success in life and in business, starting the day with meaningful conversations, such as even this, is such a beautiful thing. Particularly, in as we in our human growth process, we encourage individuals to build plans, master plan, and it's important for us to we must always have a plan. It's important for individuals to make an habit of having a plan, of planning out the day, to starting out the day with a sense of direction in where they want to go and how they want the day to turn out, being focused in the elements that will contribute to that overall success for the day, for the week, for the month. So planning, is an essential factor if we are going to develop and to achieve that overall outcome that we're looking for. But then, we tend to look at, okay, so what is the overall outcome that we're looking at? So our human growth process, we try to, well, encourage individuals, yeah, because a lot of times when we measure success, we measure success from narrow terms, which is important when we look at, okay, we want a certain amount of accumulation that we're looking for. But to have a bigger view toward an overall, well, a bigger vision, it's important to have a big vision of what all these small wins, what does it equate to? Several years ago, I read a book by Stephen Covey where he mentioned that there are often times when individuals make a goal out of wanting to achieve, certain things in life, want to climb the
Shane, come.
want to
Uh-uh.
climb the corporate ladder, so to speak, only to find out when they reach a certain age that the corporate ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. So now that they're at the top of the corporate ladder, they realize that the wall makes the corporate ladder non-impactful, because they achieve some things, but now the things did not add to the overall advancement of what's really important in life is concerned. So, one of the things that we encourage as an habit for individuals is to know the big problem, because life and serving humanity is about making the human species a better uh, a better um, component of what life is all about. Every species that has the life, whether it is the plant, whether it is the insect, whether it is the animals, all that goes into what life is. Um, Success is based upon these various life forms adding to the ecosystem and allowing each ecosystem to contribute, to make their contribution, so that there is an environment where everyone is thriving. So human growth and success where life is concerned is when individuals understand, what it is that our contribution ought to be, and then we make a practice or a habit of doing those things that is going to make well for the species in general and all the species that are involved. And so the habits that an individual can really practice or to work upon is, first of all, even to figure out what is it, what is the problem that I'm supposed to solve, because to be our contribution. And the big cycle of life is that every individual has their component, every individual has their little bit that is going to add to the other little bit that somebody else is going to contribute, that over in all the contributions coming together, you find that this huge accomplishment is made. So the habit that I think is most important, another habit that is very important, and let me, in saying this, let me quote even the late Miles Monroe, in him saying that the graveyard is one of the richest place on the planet, because you have individuals who have go through life, and they never figured out what their life was really about. And I may even add to that the reason why there are so many problems in life is just because most individuals have not figured out what their problem is to solve. So you have a lot of unsolved problems out there, in the marketplace and in life overall. So the important habit is one of the important habit is just to spend time. Individuals spend time in figuring out what is my problem to solve. What is the big problem out there to solve, and how do they focus on breaking down that big problem into small components and working on it on a daily basis, to cause, at the end of the day, everybody, they themselves and everybody that is around them, is the species overall, human growth is actually taking place. I'll come back to some other points in my next contribution.
All right. So you want to reach the maker empty,
Mm.
not full,
Yeah, there
meaning that
you
you want to live on earth and you want to give as much as you can give. So you are empty, not full. Great statement. I want to talk about the vision board because I believe that every single person, you need a gratitude board. All right. You need a gratitude board, and you need to learn how to use the gratitude board. Now, I want to talk about a gratitude board, and I want to talk about it in two contexts. One from a business standpoint, and the other is from a social standpoint. So, how can you use your gratitude board in business? Do you celebrate your clients? Perhaps you're new in business. Do you celebrate your first 10 clients?
go.
Perhaps it's something for you to think about. Celebrate your first 10 clients. And remember, I said, you can build your gratitude board to represent the past. You can build your gratitude board to represent the present. You can build your gratitude board to represent the future. Or the gratitude board can represent all three levels of gratitude. And let's just look at this. Let's try to put a face to this. So you have 10 clients and you have been serving them for 6 months, a year. Do you send them a gratitude note? Do you send them a thank you card? Do you acknowledge that they have been with you for some time? So you have the client. Do you show gratitude? So you want to celebrate them for being loyal and good clients, and let them know that they are good clients. Let them know that they're good clients. So presently, you in the present, you can celebrate all of the good deeds that you have experienced with them from the past. perhaps you can make a decision to roll out, an executive training program that, and you're giving them that as a bonus. I'm just saying, you need to find a way to celebrate your small wins. Because guess what happens here? How do you think your community would feel to know that you have been serving them? Now you have acknowledged them by introducing them to groundbreaking executive training. How do you think they will feel about you? They will feel good about you because your training program perhaps is going to really help them how to optimize performance, how to increase productivity, how to increase profitability of the organization. Your training program provides that. So as they move towards the future, who they're thinking about? They're thinking about you because you have laid the groundwork for that. You have leveraged gratitude to build out that healthy relationship with your clientele base. All right. So you need to have your gratitude board, and this could be applied in business and in life. Now, let me look at it in another scenario. When last did you celebrate your spouse? Or are you waiting until Mother's Day and Father's Day to celebrate your spouse? It's not enough. They say that every day is Mother's Day and Father's Day. But I can tell you, when you talk to a lot of women, they don't feel that way, because they're just going through a regular routine. You want to celebrate it. You want your presence to be felt. You want your presence to be known. All right. So perhaps you can, you know, write a card, and you could document all the things that you're so happy about your spouse. So you have met 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You need to create your historical data of all the things that you're excited about. What I see happen a whole lot. Many persons in the relationship situation, they tend to see all the bad, not the good. And I'm quite certain that the good far more triumphs the bad, but you see the bad, the 1% bad is what you celebrate. Destroy something healthy. That's not what you want to do. I'm not saying that anyone is perfect. Nobody is perfect. But you have to train the mind to see the good in people and not necessarily the bad, because the 1% bad is insignificant to all the good that your spouse has. But guess what? You're not seeing it because your mind is not programmed to flow from a place of gratitude. And that's why I said early on, are you capable of expressing yourself from a place of gratitude? When your spouse feel happy that you are making her feel happy or him feel happy, guess what? They want to do more. So you may come home one day and your spouse will say to you, hey, go have a seat and let me massage your foot, or rub your shoulder or something. You have created that situation for your spouse to be motivated to to give more, to serve more, and to contribute to your happiness. And this is what gratitude does. The same thing happens for business. You build relationship with your community when you show gratitude. I think Frank would have said it early on. There's some people going and their hands are always like this. Gimme, 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 gimme. I want. Instead of they going and say, this is gift. I come to you bearing gifts. All right. I come to you acknowledging, the great person you are and how you have affected my life in a positive way, business or personal. So I really want to emphasize the importance of gratitude. Yes, I could have gone into so many other types of habits. I could have talked about habits in financial intelligence and habits in understanding money and habits and a whole lot of things. But I want to keep it simple today, because I do believe the simple things sometimes is what really matters. All right. You have to slow down a little bit. You have to embrace all of the small wins all of the great things that you would have accomplished, and then you use that as your springboard to move forward. So I'm going to pause here for now and just pass control to Frank. Frank, all to you. You're mute.
Thank you. And
Welcome.
this morning when we came in, I was complimenting Peter on the fresh look, and we spoke about sleep
You got Peter blushing throughout this program, Frank.
and melatonin, and that is that's the next habit we need to get enough sleep.
Yep.
Um, there's a board certified laryngologist and founder of MD Hearing Aid. They sell hearing aids. But Srikant Chirukuri, he says, I know from my medical training that lack of sleep can contribute to increased stress and poor decision making. I have a sleep regimen that I stick to whenever possible. 1 hour before bedtime, no work, phones, computer screens, because the blue light from screens has been shown to interfere with sleep cycles. So a relaxing routine helps you sleep and be the most effective the next day. And this is for me because I'm always on my phone. I'm always in front of sleep. I always have to do something. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is an eye opener for me to say, you know what? Before an hour, like an hour or so, and move off of those things so that you're not affected by the blue screen, which cuts into your sleep pattern. Use tech to turn off. Some companies are about helping the doctors use technology to better engage with patients, while others may use technology to do the opposite, to disengage. Lucasfeld medical memory president says that I have recurring calendar invites, one mid morning, one at lunch, one mid afternoon, to tell me take a beat. It reminds me to slow down and stop what I'm doing for about 5 minutes. And this is when I let my mind wander and absorb the events of the day or morning. And he said he finds it amazing how frequently those calendar invites pop up exactly when he needs them the most. The phone that you have, and this is how I use the tech to turn off. So I would listen to classical music or some music that helps me just lulls into dreamland. So technology is not all about having to use it for work. It can be, you can use it to disengage from your busy schedule. You need to walk and talk. Just walk. Don't worry the car. Just walk and talk, even if you're talking to yourself. I know we live in a society where if you somebody talks to themselves, they're mad. That's not what it is. It is easy to hurry through your day, whether walking from meeting to meeting or answering those copious emails and phone calls while chained to your desk. I get that every day. But my personal rule is to stop and talk to every third person come across daily as I walk to the office. Why assign a number? Why not just make a general effort to chat with everyone that you pass? The rule ensures that you have a quality conversation and connect with a few different people throughout the day. Rather than building a reputation for talking any person's ears off that crosses your path, great conversations lead to stronger relationships and better ideas. Brad Worskinchin, CEO of Count. Hire people with high emotional intelligence. I had to just think for a couple of seconds there. When you hire persons with high IQ, be students in IQ, any day over the two reverse, because we sometimes think that because somebody has a high IQ, the emotional intelligence is intact. Not true. High intellect people who simply don't know how to work with others. The world has become so dependent on working across functions and sharing information that any low emotional intelligence person could apply. Do not panic in the face of an unexpected challenge, another the habit. When faced with an unforeseen challenge, which is inevitable, the first step is to stay calm, search for solutions, not excuses, and to relentlessly pursue execution of that solution. Jay Jumper, CEO of Digital Signature. You have this one here is checking with one employee at random. And when we talk about employees, this is workplace, but check in with friends, check in with family, strike up an impromptu conversation with somebody every day. It shows that what they do matters and it's fun to learn what they're working on, what they're excited about, what question they have about whether their company, school, home. There's no better way to keep a pulse on relationship in this real culture. Over to you, Gary.
Yeah, thanks for that share, Frank. I just want to add one thing just before I go across to Peter. Um, Having a gratitude board is so important. And I just want to share one thing in terms of how I use the gratitude board to get through the day. And I have a gratitude board. I have it. All of my, kids and family, they have that. And you see, when you look at the gratitude board, you look at all the things you're grateful for. All right. For you, it might be you have sustainable cash flow coming in. For me, that's one example that I can talk about. So let us suppose you're going through the day, you have a project and it's supposed to cash flow, but something goes wrong. In most cases, when something goes wrong with cash flow, you tend to be stressed out why that didn't happen. But whenever that happens, what do you think I do? I go right back to my gratitude board and I say, hey, I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm excited that I have sustainable, cash flow coming in. So you use that now as a springboard to happiness. So all the negative that comes at you doesn't matter because you are anchored in gratitude. So that's just an example that I want to share. And I really want to emphasize and encourage you, our listeners, to get a gratitude board. If you need help, you can definitely reach out to us and we will be so happy to guide you along this path and give you that support to make things happen. Perhaps your gratitude might be, I have the right friends. And having the right friends, believe me, is leverage. It's leverage. All right. So, Peter, all to you.
Yes. So the whole purpose of, I think, where life is concerned and even going into business, we do understand that going into business for the sake of making money is not the to really make money is not to go after money where business is concerned. That's a sure path to actually lose business, because once people feels as if your whole focus is just to get some money from them, then you won't serve the marketplace in that way well. So to really be successful and to a good habit to have is to figure out, the as we mentioned a while ago, the big problems that are out there, and to focus on solving those big problems. But to solve those big problems or problems in general, is attached to people. So the second habit that I would encourage is that find the people with the problem that you are designed, that you are born, that you were born to solve. So you do understand that there is problems. So, but it's not, you can't go after every problem that is out there. You go after the problem that are attached to your skill set. So what are those problems that are attached to your skill sets? And you focus on developing your skill sets around those set of problems that you are designed, that you were actually born to solve. As we mentioned earlier, that we don't want to leave the earth with the gift inside of us. So you're going to make a practice of sharpening those gifts, building those gifts, so that you're constantly solving those problems better and getting greater results in solving those problems. And as I said, right now, the people identifying, making sure that you are connecting with those people that has those problems, and you are serving them much better. They are understanding who they are. You are making greater contribution to their lives. They are now happy to see you, because whenever you show up, it's not about the business that you're doing, the money that you're the structures within the business concept. It's not about that. People understand that when you show up, it's about them. They feel valued about them, in your presence, because you recognize that everything, it's about the people, and to give value, to increase the value of the people. But then just to look at serving the people, the other question is, how are you going to deliver the solution to the people? So another habit that you can spend time on working on is your packaging. Your packaging. How are you going to package that solution in such a way whereby the individuals that you are seeking to serve, that you have a beautiful package, whether it is the package of how you communicate, the package of how you present yourself, your personal packaging of yourself, so that you represent your product in a very powerful way, in a way that the people, it is inviting. So yes, so you want to show up strong in your packaging. You want to also show up strong in even just the product itself, the very product itself, because it's good for you to have a good package, but if the product itself that is seeking to connect with the people, the product itself ought to be fulfilling. So when individuals see and partake of the product, they are completely satisfied. They are appreciative of the kind of effort that you put into producing your product, that you take time to put it into this beautiful package, because you want to also be able to not just to have be able to present the product, but then the promotion of the product will be even stronger, because it is easy to promote a good product, because that good product actually will promote itself because of the substance and the quality of what it is. So just going through those things, understanding and making a habit of knowing the problem, and knowing the people, and knowing the product, and having a good package, and making a habit out of that continually, day by day. As they say, that habits, what happens where you habits, where you, when you form good habits, it becomes, after a while, it creates a momentum. It creates, because there's something that you put constant effort into, and there's it is this constant and regular cycle, and it becomes something that is ingrained as a, because habits, what does habits, they say habits actually form character. So when you now begin to become that character, that individuals associate that you are a people person, that produces solution for them, that package your solution properly, and you produce that solution, that now becomes your character, and it becomes your identity, and you are leaving, as we love to talk about, legacy. You have a building now a legacy that people now are resonating with, and you can be remembered even after you're gone. Long after you're gone, people will remember because you are impacting their lives in meaningful ways.
All right, good share. I wonder everyone to reflect on school days. You know, can you remember school days you had some multiple choice questions? Well, I want you to equate exactly all of those experiences to what I'm about to say. In life, you need two boards. All right. And I'm going to give you three boards, and you tell me which one should not be there. Multiple choice. So we talk about the gratitude board. You need it. We didn't talk about the wish board. Do you need it or don't need it? And I want to introduce also the vision board. Which one of those boards you don't want? Multiple choice. Now, the reason I did this is because what I see is that many person may develop their wish board, their vision board, but instead of the vision board being what it's supposed to be in the true context of vision board, it is more a wish board. All right. A wish board is used as engaging in wishful thinking.
Mm.
And that's not something that you want to do. Not with your life. You know, your life is precious to you. So you don't want to be engaged in wishful thinking. I don't know if Frank would say this to you. To have a vision is not just saying that I have a vision. A vision means that let us say in the context of a business, you have a vision for your business, you have a business plan, perhaps you also have a cash flow game plan, but further you have what is known as your WBS. You have your Gantt chart. So the business plan tells you this is what I want to do. This is the people I want to serve. This is the reason why I want to serve them. So you're clear about that. Now you have your cash flow projection over the next 5 years. You have your cash flow game plan. All right. Next, you break down all the action that you need to take to achieve the business objective. That's a vision. That's a vision. That's not a wish. Some people you have a wish, and all you do is wishful thinking. As most people developing their New Year resolution is a wish, not a vision. You want to make it into a vision board. All right, a vision board. You have a gear. You know what you want to accomplish. You know why. You have your cash flow game plan, and you have your WBS, your plan breakdown. And this is important. You deserve to sit with yourself if you're capable of doing this, and not only have your gratitude board, you want to move over to where you have your vision board. The vision board is everything that you are grateful for that you can accomplish in the future. All right. You want to have that vision board. But when we talk of vision board, all of what I just mentioned is a part of that vision. You have a master plan, you have the cash flow game plan, and you have your work breakdown structure or your Gantt chart. In your personal life, what does your vision board looks like? Peter will always talk to you about having your master plan. One of the things that we see is that you're living your life, but you're not taking full ownership over your life. And you cannot take ownership because you don't have a master plan for your life. All right. You owe it to yourself to put yourself in a position of strength to have that master plan for your life. This is your life we are talking about. Your life is more important than your business. All right. So why don't you have your personal life master plan? And that is what you want to come on your vision board. But remember, as you develop your personal life master plan, as you look at it as a master plan, it must make sense. I'm not going to go into all of those details today, but your personal life master plan must make sense. All right. How you going to invest in yourself to become a subject matter expert? How are you investing, leveraging your subject matter expertise to add value and fix problems? How adding value and fixing problems is opening doors for you to cash flow optimize and build wealth for yourself. These are all things that you owe to yourself. All right. And don't wait for the opportunity for someone to come and say, I want to pour into you. You owe it to yourself to make the commitment to take ownership over your life. And that's something that you should be so blessed about. You should have so much gratitude about that, to wake up and say, you know, I'm so blessed that right here, right now, I can take ownership of my life. I can become the author and the maker of my life and my destiny. And I'm going to make this commitment to make me the best gem the world has ever known. You have the ability to do this. So you need to pour into yourself every day. Because I'm going to say to you, you're the greatest asset the world has ever known. You're the greatest asset the world will ever know. But you need to embrace that moment, feel that moment as you move through life. Feel and know that you're special, you're unique, regardless of where you came from, regardless of where you're at. You got gems inside of you. All right. You were molded and shaped by the creator, and then he breathed his breath of life inside of you. You are a walking, living example of his DNA on earth. Embrace it. So that's part of your vision. So as you embrace the godlike within, there's really no limit to how far you can go. It's not going to be easy, but believe me, you can achieve great things. And it begins with you believing in yourself. And it begins with you taking ownership over your life. So when I say have gratitude that you have life, just don't wake up and say, I have gratitude that I wake up today. Understand the significance in waking up today, that you have possibilities to write your own chapter, charter a new course, create new possibilities for yourself and your loved ones. That is what waking up with gratitude is all about. That's what waking up and saying, I have life, I have health, I have possibilities is all about. I'm going to pause here. Frank, call to you, my friend. You're mute. I'm not hearing you. Frank, I'm not hearing you. Nope. Nope. Jump out and jump back in. Let's see what happened.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that vision board is important. And get rid of the wish board. All right. You don't need a wish board. Wishing is for losers. You have to become a visionary. And by becoming a visionary, you have a clear mental picture of what you want to accomplish, why, and how. Yeah, Frank, I'm still not hearing you. Uh, but you're mute. You're mute right now, on mute.
You hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Good. So I was saying that I like the how you coin the possibilities, and those same possibilities stand good for leadership. The thing about leaders, they will perform their best on all levels when they integrate essential self-care into their life. And it's not just, and we're still in habits. And it's not just
Mhm.
a nice to have, it's a must. It's a must have to thrive in times like today and in the future. As human beings, we love to think we're always in control and that our in the moment decisions are based on logic, reason, and well developed thought process. And this is especially true for leaders who are constantly flexing their style and the way they think and show for others. The reality is humans are creatures of habit. In fact, about 45% of reported activities, according to studies, are based not on conscious decision making process, but by ingrained habits. In other words, about half of our actions are not even based on conscious decisions. They're based on habits that have become second nature to us.
Mhm.
So think about this for a second. All the control you think you have over your life uh, and leadership is largely an illusion because much of the time you're not thinking of deciding. You're falling back on behaviors based on habits, and those behaviors may or may not be conducive to what you're attempting to accomplish as a leader. And that's why it is so critical to develop solid, grounded, and effective leadership habits in combination with a healthy self care routine so you can perform at your best and live the best life possible. And people sometimes wonder what habit is. In my view, a habit can be defined as an automatic response to a situation or event. And basically, habits allow us to preserve the energy we use for mental processing and decision making. They are kind of like a mental computer programs that run in the background of our minds, which allows us to take full advantage of the brain's processing power. Humans evolved habits as automatic responses to different environments and contexts. And without the development of those automatic habits, we might not have been able to survive as a species. If humans had to be aware of the countless small decisions that must be made every day, we would become immobilized and unable to take effective action. So think about your morning routine. It is hugely important to how your day progresses, but it's probably made up of a series of habits. You don't process every single aspect of getting dressed, making coffee, reading the news, or making the familiar drive to your office. If you had to weigh the pros and cons of every single one of those actions or decisions at each moment, you would never get anything done. Because the human brain is a highly efficient processing device. It works to ensure you make high quality decisions, but trade offs aren't often necessarily in the interest of making decisions quickly. And
Mhm.
that's where habits come into play. You see, the habits free up processing power, eliminating some lower priority decisions and making more mental resources available to use on more important, unique decisions. It is basically like outsourcing your decision making to the department of habits. Then habits work their automatic magic for better or for worse. Yes, habits are our friends and they provide a place of comfort. As you know, however, not all habits are good ones, and because they act automatically when triggered by a certain context or a specific environment, bad ones can inflict a lot of damage if they go unnoticed or corrected. This is where I have to part ways with you guys. As always, it's good being here. Over to you, Gary.
All right. Yeah, Pete, Frank, we are wrapping up now, though. Um, but just before you run out, um, just talk to us a little bit about the book and what it's about to come.
it's all about understanding today's business landscape, how the influences that impact global business environment. Is about um, essentials of economic development in our business landscape. It's about technological advances. Um, how do we adhere to regulatory requirements? Because once you're into business, the legal framework has to come into play. Um, what about operational intelligence? We talk about operational intelligence, and I'll just leave a little quote here from operational intelligence. Business must have the capability to forecast assets, performance, recognize evolving conditions, and assess investment opportunities. Digital asset management, real-time monitoring, and data analytics allow business to become accessible. This will enhance operations intelligence and empower operators to tackle challenges more efficiently. And that's one quote from the book.
Wow. Sounds like some real gems coming there, man. All right. Thanks for that share.
All right,
Right.
guys. See
All
y'all.
right.
Peter,
Take care.
bye-bye.
Have a great day, Frank.
Yeah, take care.
Uh-huh.
PT, your closing thoughts?
Yeah, so we want our solution, because as we mentioned that life is about solutions. Finding the people that we are designed to serve, to get rid of or to eliminate the problems that they're having in their lives. And you want to propagate. You want your solution to propagate. You want it to spread, and it's a habit, because we just mentioned it, about momentum. So when you make a habit, in serving the people that you are called, to serve, in solving their bringing solution to their big problem, and you do it habitually, there it will propagate. After a while, it will propagate. Start with just a few, and you make a habit. You're intentional about your packaging and how you're producing, and promoting. Eventually it's going to start to propagate, it's going to start to spread. It becomes that name that everybody is talking about. But there is one more thing or two more things but that you want to do where your solution is concerned, in making a habit, is you want to design, what we will say, you want to make it your solution to be proprietary. That's the key thing. You want your solution to be proprietary. That means it is your secret sauce. It is that thing that you have taken somebody else's invention, or somebody else's secret sauce, and you reiterate that secret sauce. You make it better. You do some improvement on it, somewhat like what Bill Gates did in realizing that computers, there is a better way by which computation could be done. Instead of taking up so much real estate in these large spaces, he said, okay, let's take something that is already effective and adding value to humanity. Now let's make it efficient by shrinking the size where it now can hold on a desktop or a laptop. And now he's now become that iteration caused him to serve a number of decades as the richest CEO on the planet. So you can do that. You can make a proprietary development of something that already exists. And if you are even more creative, develop something of your own from scratch. You're going to develop your own proprietary development, of that solution that you're presenting to the marketplace. But all of that, in closing, all of that will require planning, master planning. And we love to talk about master planning, because you want to have that overarching vision that Gear was talking about earlier. And master planning is that key component that will cause you to have vision, because you're taking all the components, all pieces that are involved, and you're laying it out on what Gear was saying again, a vision board. That's what master planning, it enables you to see the future from as of now, and how everything is relative and how everything is coordinating with each other. And you understand the timing when each piece needs to be enacted in order for there to be um, that domino effect of elements falling in place as you are putting your solution, increasing your solution to impact the people that you were placed on the planet to improve their lives. So that, in essence, is what we love about Human Growth Master Plan, and how you are going to make the species, the human species, increase their value. And this world, the world that we're living in, in closing, I say that the human species, the one thing that seem to be at the, well, creating the greatest amount of problems in our world today. So if anything that can be done to shift how the human species is really the trajectory of where we're going, that would be a masterful thing for any individual to make a habit of. Back to you, Gary.
All right. In closing, this would not be habits and money unless we talk a little bit about money. Money, money, money. So there's an important habits that I want you to form. And these are important habits when you want to position yourself to build wealth, to win financially. And let's talk about it. You want to work hard or smart. I don't care if you're working hard or working smart, but whichever one you're doing, you want to make it make sense. Now, what is the real motive behind working? It Many other persons may have their own motive, but one of the motive that I want you to have in working is that you're working because you want to earn. All right, you want to earn. What is the motive behind earning? You earn because you want to save. All right, you're not earning to go paycheck to paycheck. You want to save. Why do you want to save? What is the motive for saving? You're not saving to have your money sit dormant and lost value, but you're saving with a motive in mind. Your motive is that you want monies to accumulate, and then you want to put it into investment portfolios. Now you have so much of investment portfolios that you can be looking at. You have stocks, fund, mutual funds, you have hedge funds, you have ETF, you have a range of different things. You have equity portfolios that you can invest in. This is not investment advice. When you come to us and we analyze where you're at, we will then talk to you about safe investment portfolio. Again, making investment is not a front end decision. You don't look at the media, you don't look at the hype and say, this is something that I want to do. You want to make back end analytics, back-end information, where you understand, all of the moving parts behind the investment decision, but you want to invest. All the wealthy people do this. They either do it actively, passively, they either do it through a big organization or a small organization, which we call the global intermediary or the boutique intermediary, but they invest. And why do you invest? You invest because you want to build wealth. You see, investing in safe portfolios is what really sets you up to make money work for you. One of the things that we talk about is that, and my kids, we were talking about this only recently. We were saying that what one of the kids says to me is that most people are puppets to money because they do any and everything to make money. So money is the master and they're the puppet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds funny when we are looking at this and laughing, but then they say, why is it not the other way around, where man is the master and money is the puppet? And then they say to me, for that to happen, it means that man really have to learn financial intelligence and know how to put money to work for them so they're able to earn when they sleep. My kids are very smart, when it comes to money. Um, so you don't want to be the puppet for money. You want to be the puppet master when it comes to money. The only puppet in the room is money.
Mm.
Money don't think, money don't feel, money is just money. So money is the real puppet in the room. But if you don't understand financial intelligence, it's the other way around. And on this platform, that's not what we want. We want you to have the kind of information that can really transform your life. So in conclusion, I'm going to say this again. You want to work to earn. You want to earn to save. You want to save to invest. You want to invest to build wealth. Now, if you do not understand this ecosystem, if you're not practicing this ecosystem, the possibility exists that you will remain on the paycheck to paycheck. The possibility exists that you will continue to be the puppet to money instead of you being the puppet master when it comes to positioning yourself to attract massive amounts of wealth. On this platform, we're going to teach you that. So I trust that you learned a lot from today's program. Today, we took it on the lighter side, and I trust you would have enjoyed it. I want to thank Frank in his absence for being here. He's an economist, but also a leader in practice and an author. And I also want to thank Peter for being here. Peter is a theologist. All right. So when you hear Peter speak, he's speaking largely from that theological rich background that he has. And he's also the brain behind Legacy Chronicle Human Growth Initiative. All right. So I want to thank you guys for being here today. I want to thank the audience because today we're reaching over 50 countries. And I want to thank over 40,000 persons who have subscribed to this program. Thanks for your support. And do continue to like, subscribe, and share so you can help the algorithm to go further, faster. All right. So that's it for today. Peter, have a great one. And